And we are back on Summoner's Rift for Game 2, finally in the game. Sorry about that spectator delay, everybody, but we're here. We're ready to go. Are we going to see the same invade, maybe? You know, both teams grouping together at the start. It looks like Rejected by Amumu will do that. Miztosis' Egirls are a little more spread out, but they're still... oh, no, now they're spreading out more. They're going to that line of scrimmage. But Rejected by Amumu might consider going in here. If Ari takes Charm and lands the Charm, they could get a kill right off the bat.
I think Miztosis has played that right. Generally speaking, Rejected by Amumu has the better invade. If need be, they can have the Jax Counter-Strike. They have the stun and the CC from the Sejuani. You got Cho'Gath Silence or Rupture. There's just so much CC stacked on there, including the Leona passive, that it could turn any invade pretty quickly.
Well, it got to the point where they got to start sending Jax top, and they're just going to get set up where they need to be to start the game. Could have been a skirmish between Ryze and Ornn and Jax, but even though they all spotted each other, they decided to back off and not really engage. I'm so interested to watch this bot lane here. Ari in the bot lane. I'm so interested in this. I can't wait.
Generally speaking, generic Sion main is going to have an extremely large advantage in that lane.
Yeah,
as just right now.
So much early damage here because the Ornn is not respecting the fact that Jax can just negate all of that early damage that Ornn has. You know, it just nope, doesn't matter. I'm just going to twirl my staff over my head. You're not going to be able to touch me. Ooh, goes in with the jump, gets another hit on. That Ornn has got to be afraid at this point.
I just feel like Miztosis did not respect generic Sion's ability on those hyper carries.
Either that or they are respecting it, but it still doesn't matter because, you know, he's just got many carry champs in his pocket that, you know, there's not really much they can do as far as banning him out. I mean, it's back to a good place for Ornn, though. He got the health back, but I mean, he had to use all of his potions to do it. But he is still back in a good spot. Jax goes in for a jump. Is he going to get the stun off? He does get the stun off, but it kind of doesn't matter. Ornn actually is ahead right now in the health department, but Jax can go back in for more damage. Oh! Ornn they trade kills, but Jax still gets the first blood advantage in gold.
I see what the Thirsty Orange tried to do there. It was very smart play what he did, but the way he did it, I don't think he expected the wall to be too far for that stun. If he had landed that stun with that wall, that would have been a kill on the Jax.
Oh, Nautilus gets a really good hook off on the Sejuani, but Sejuani still gets away. Just wanted to make her afraid a little bit. In the mid lane, though, it's pretty even CS-wise between Ryze and Cho'Gath. It looks like they're both farming. I mean, they try to get a little poke on each other when they can, but they're still focusing mainly on just farming up right now. The Ornn does have flash advantage top lane, though. Jax, it's down on Jax right now. And as I'm saying this, the Ryze might die in mid lane because they're rejected by Amumu. Ryze does end up living with barely any health. Ornn's going to die here to Jax again, though. He just can't get away from what Jax is doing. Jax is just too strong. He did have the flash. He did use the flash. It just was not enough to get away. Playing a little too risky, even with flash on the line.
Again, a Thirsty Orange had the right idea, but I think he just wasn't confident on his timing on landing it on his own little wall he can throw down there, and he went for the wall on the side there and was not able to get that stun.
And Down in bot lane here, the Ahri is keeping up mostly in CS. She's not falling behind or anything like that. But we are seeing that at least early like this, at levels 1 through 5, that Kai'Sa definitely has an advantage in damage. She's going to be able to, with her passive, really hurt the Ahri if they get into a team fight here. But then again, if Ahri lands that Q, gets that true damage from it, that could be just as deadly. So it really relies on both players being at the top of their game. Ryze takes some hits, but he trades it right back in the mid lane. Just poking each other down, having a good time. There's something about just watching Ryze get CS that is really satisfying. Every time it goes mid and we're watching him get CS, it's just fun to look at. Jax goes in for another fight on Ornn, but is he going to chase him under tower? No, he's not. He's going to be satisfied with that damage, and he's going to back off. The Ornn does do a good job of getting him back, though. He makes Jax take a tower shot. That helps him out.
Ornn is probably going to need to back or get a gank from Jetcom there. Jax realistically can dive him. He is a level ahead. Counter-strike, his leap strike, with the passive from his ultimate, could equate to a kill.
It could, but at the same time, he's a little too weak right now. The tower is still going to hurt him a lot. He's going to play cautious just in case. I can respect that. Now this is when Ornn has to be careful. It's when he comes out that far from tower. But Evelyn's in the area, so we damage on Jax, and Evelyn's going to finish him off. But at the same time, Rejected by Amumu is going to go after this Infernal Drake. That's really going to help them out in the early game. It's going to make the Jax even more dangerous up in top lane. It's going to help the Ahri deal a little more damage in bot lane. It's going to help Cho'Gath deal a little more damage in mid. It's just going to be a really good thing to help them out right now. And the next Drake looks like it's also going to be an Infernal, which would help them out even more if they happen to put themselves in a good position to get it. Cho'Gath looks like he's winning out in the mid lane in the CS battle, though. He's poking out the Ryze, which, like I said at the beginning, Ryze doesn't have as much damage at level 1. He needs some items. And it looks like they might want to go after the Cho'Gath here. They have 3 of them in the area. Evelyn, if she gets that charm off. Oh, she misses the charm. Cho'Gath might get away. Oh, Kai'Sa flashes over the wall. Nice work by the Kai'Sa. Gets a kill for herself. That helps her out. Ooh, Ahri gets a lot of damage, though. Yeah, that forces the disengage by Miztosis' Egirls. Really good play by them overall, but even though they're a kill ahead, the game is even in gold, so it helps the Kai'Sa, definitely. But team-wise, gold-wise, this is still anyone's game.
It looks like you're right there about the Ahri going full AP. Good call on that.
I mean, unless she's going for something weird, like, if her first item, like after she buys that Lost Page, if her first item is going to be, oh, never mind, I got to stop talking here because Jax goes in for a fight. Sejuani's there too, but the Evelyn also shows up to help out. Oh my god, the Evelyn goes down because of Jax's leap. Sejuani's going to chase the Ornn a little bit, but going to back off. Meanwhile, down in the bot lane, we have another fight brewing. This could be a dead Nautilus if, oh, it is a dead Nautilus. Kai'Sa tries to deal some damage to get a kill in return, but it's just not enough damage right now. Kai'Sa's also, she's not going for the Muramana build I talked about at the beginning of the game. She's going for a standard build. Oh, and while we weren't even looking up in top lane, they killed Ornn, Cho'Gath. Nice work by him to do that while the other fight was going on. Cross-map plays, cross-map kills. We can't look at all of them at the same time. And that Ryze just continues to take poke down in the mid lane there. Cho'Gath being 20 CS ahead, which is really good, helps him out a lot. He also has 3 Doran's rings, which helps him to keep his mana up while he's getting all this CS.
I honestly do not agree with the 3 Doran's ring. I understand it, but there are better options if he wanted to rush. I'm going to assume he's going to rush a Proto Belt for that Cho'Gath.
Ooh, they try to get the engage on Sejuani, but the hook from Nautilus just misses. Oh, actually, yeah, that's a good. I didn't realize the mana pass rings actually doesn't stack. I think it used to stack, if I'm remembering correctly. It just doesn't anymore.
It used to stack.
Yeah, about a season and a half ago, got changed. Yeah, so we're looking at some of the CS differences here. Jax is way ahead up in top lane. He's 30 CS ahead. He's got 3 kills. He's a beast compared to Ornn at the moment. So if you're Ornn, you just have to play it safe. You just have to try to get CS from a distance. But, you know, Jax just is not letting him do it at all. And there's an engage down in bot lane. Nautilus uses the ultimate. Leona uses her ultimate response. Oh, Kai'Sa uses her ultimate to go in. Takes out Ahri. Is this a dead Jax? That's a dead Jax up in top lane to follow that up. Excellent play by Ornn there, getting out of the way, forcing Jax to take some tower shots. And now we just we go back to another short lull. I'm assuming there's going to be another fight soon because there are fights seems every 30 seconds or so this game.
Miztosis did a really good job there putting up the aggro, make sure they get kills where they need to be. A thirsty orange, good outplay there. Made sure he had that flash in time for that, and he still has teleport up just in case anything on the map comes up.
So Nautilus uses his Q to escape, but now he can't use it to engage on them, and that's going to be his undoing. It looked like Ryze wanted to do an engage, but they couldn't get in. And Rejected by Amumu is going for this Infernal Drake. If they get it, that's 2. Evelynn looks like she wants to steal it. Kai'Sa looks like she wants to help. Oh, Evelynn does steal it. She gets the Drake. Nice. Good work, Evelynn. That makes both teams even in their dragons. And as we all know, the first type of each dragon, the first Infernal, the first Mountain, the first Ocean, the first Cloud Drake, they give you more of a stat boost than the second or the third ones do.
That is extremely important for Miztosis there to get that off of Rejected by Amumu. Rejected by Amumu does have a lot of late game scaling with the builds that they're going. You have generic Sion here who's going to naturally scale because he's Jax, and Vel'Koz mid here going with the Cho'Gath. His AP ratios are actually pretty good regardless of how people play him, and since his ultimate scales with both AP and health, he infinitely stacks with the passive on his ultimate.
Absolutely. Oh, Rejected by Amumu gets an insanely good engage down in bot lane. They end up getting 2 kills. Ryze goes down to try to help, but this might end up being a dead Ryze as a result. Oh, it's going to be close. Oh, Ahri barely gets it off with the range on her, or it just barely gets there. Really good engage by Rejected by Amumu. They knew what they wanted to do. They went in for it. A bit of a misplay by Ryze going in when Ryze did. And Kai'Sa's first item is now Stormrazor. Now that it's finished here, we can talk about that. So that's the Kai'Sa build that's been standard for a while now, is to go with that for first item. I am still a huge proponent of going Muramana for first item and doing that build, but hey, it's not like the Stormrazor build doesn't work. You know, it's still the standard for a reason. She's also evened it up a little bit down in bot lane. You know, she's 20 CS ahead. She's got the 2 kills. Ahri's 2 assists help her not be that far behind. But the Kai'Sa is definitely something to watch out for now.
Now that I'm seeing Rejected by Amumu's comp playing out, it is actually very good and extremely annoying.
The annoying part is the important part, right? That's the part that matters. And as we're talking, Jax dies in top lane to a turret shot. Ornn, what a great engage with his ultimate by him. He's still got to be careful, though, because there's a tower dive by the Sejuani. He's down. It looks like the Evelyn's also going to die here, and they also take tower. Really good tower dive that we see here by Rejected by Amumu. Sure, the Jax dies in the process, but I'll take 1 death over 2 kills in a tower any day.
Rejected by Amumu once again doing really good in that early game, keeping pressure up, making sure that Miztosis cannot get that scaling.
And they need that scaling. You know, they're relying on the Ryze to both scale into the late game here. They can't let the game end early. They have to stall it out as long as possible. Ryze and Nautilus really want to make up for these past misplays, but this might just be a dead Nautilus. And it is. And Ahri gets the charm off on Ryze. This could be a dead Ryze, but Evelyn shows up and saves him. They need to just disengage at this point. They cannot keep the fight going. They have to back off.
Miztosis has had the right idea there.
Jax goes under tower for another dive, but Jax, you've already died too many times to tower shots. You need to learn your lesson. Kai'Sa can get this kill. There it is. Jax had to dodge that W. That was the only way he was going to die. He had to dodge it. He just, there was not enough time.
I feel like Miztosis is doing a really good job here containing generic Sion main, keeping him from doing what he was doing in game 1. But the problem is Rejected by Amumu still has another late game threat, and they're still extremely tanky.
Exactly. I mean, the Ornn pick also helps because in the event that this game goes long, besides the scaling champs, you know, with Ryze and Kai'Sa, Ornn can also upgrade their items and make them even stronger that way. So their team comp is built for the late game. They have to get to late game to win this out. So containing Jax really helps make that happen. Oh, wow. That is a perfectly timed cleanse by Ryze. Really well done there. Was able to get out of that ultimate right away. Wasn't slowed down at all. But this looks like it's going to be another Drake there for Rejected by Amumu. More stat boost for them. Jax 1v1s. The Evelyn takes her down. Oh, Ryze might die here after that Ahri charm hits him. Ornn gets knocked up. This could be a dead Ornn followed up there. Oh, wow. Double kill for the Sejuani. She continues to go. Cho'Gath follows it up, going under tower to take tower aggro. But now they all have to back up. Tower does too much damage to champs at this point. That's a dead mid lane tower. And now Shelly needs to get further down lane so she can get a charge off on that second tower. This tower's going down right away.
They might actually get an inhib out of this.
It's very possible. They did the right thing. They killed that first tower before Shelly got the charge off on it so that it saved that charge for the second tower. Now the Shelly's dead. They are going to have to back off. It's just a lot of death all around the map. They're trying to disengage. Both teams lose a champion. But Miztosis' Egirls lose more. Oh, but they do take down the Jax before this fight goes completely one-sided. Now it's 3v3. And Rejected by Amumu has to back off. Ooh, do they see the Cho'Gath? No, they do not. There is no vision there to see the Cho'Gath recall.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, at this point, basically, Baron, Dragon, any neutral objective, Rejected by Amumu has a bit of an advantage here because not only do they have Smite from Sejuani, but Cho'Gath's ultimate, when he eats something, his Devour, that can also help them secure all these neutral objectives.
Cho'Gath's base damage on his ultimate on monsters, minions, objectives in general is about 1,000 damage, not including the AP ratio and the health ratio.
And it's just some word clearing out by Baron, and Rejected by Amumu just gets right on it immediately. They don't want to waste any time at all. They're going to try to take this down as fast as possible. The Ahri is there as a lookout to look for anybody coming their way. This is a dead Nautilus, and now it's a 5v4, but they do get some really good engages. Kai'Sa leaps in with her ultimate. She's taking people down. But Rejected by Amumu just has too much damage, and they kill everybody except for the Kai'Sa. They don't need to go for Baron at this point. They can choose to, but they don't have to. They have all the pressure in the world to just push lanes down and get more objectives. But after giving it some thought, they do decide to go for Baron. It's the safer of the two plays. It allows them to prevent Miztosis' Egirls from possibly getting Baron. And they're going to be able to take this down uncontested now. There's just not enough time for anybody from Miztosis' Egirls to get there. Oh yeah, that was actually just in the nick of time for Ahri to come back. She got that Baron buff when she respawned. That might have been why they were holding off from doing it right away after winning the team fight, actually. They might have been thinking about that.
I just realized the gold difference right now at 21 minutes in, and that's a massive lead that they're going to have to try to break.
Yeah, it's a 10,000 gold lead for Rejected by Amumu. It's so much items and gold for their side right now. And they also have 2 Infernal Drakes on top of that.
Honestly, I don't know how Miztosis is going to try to stall this. If they even do stall, generic Scion, Vel'Koz mid, their ability to scale is just a little bit better than what they have.
Yeah, it's a lot to worry about. And they just completely keep Miztosis' Egirls at bay. They get that tower almost no problem at all. And they can just siege here all day long. They don't have to go in for a fight. They just got to protect this cannon minion with Baron buff, and they'll get that tower. Meanwhile, Jax is off on his own, trying to get that inhib. He might just... Oh, he does! He solo kills the Evelynn! The Orange sends out his ultimate. He tries to disrupt what they're doing, but Rejected by Amumu still, they have just too much damage on their side. The Ryze and the Kai'Sa end up living, which is all the damage that their team has, but it is still not going to be enough in the end. They cannot defend that inhibitor in a 5v2 situation. They just can't do it. They have to back off. They have to let them have it.
Rejected by Amumu looking to end the game already. The death timers are there. I have to remember how the timer on this game is. It's still 23 minutes in. Those death timers aren't that long yet.
Ahri loses her life to kill the Ryze. But honestly, that's going to allow them to keep sieging if they choose. But they decide to back off. They want to play it safer. They recognize that they might not be that they might be taking too much of a risk by trying to end it now. They're going to back off, which I can respect.
Rejected by Amumu is giving them respect. I think that's a good idea. Yes, they are ahead, but there's still always a chance that one of their carries get bursted.
Yeah, I mean, the Kai'Sa has the Rage Blade, which once Kai'Sa has Rage Blade, she's always a force that you have to worry about. You have to keep that in mind constantly. The Ryze is getting there. He's getting his damage items. He's still not a huge threat, but he's on his way. And the Ornn has only upgraded one item so far. He's only upgraded his own Sunfire Cape. So he hasn't gotten to the point yet where he's been able to upgrade any of the damage items that Ryze, Evelynn, or Kai'Sa have. In fact, I don't think any of those items are upgradable by Ornn. So Rejected by Amumu is doing the smart thing. They're all grouping top lane. They know that if they just stay patient and they just go for these towers, that it's a triple threat for Miztosis' Egirls to worry about. They already have to worry about supers in mid and bot lane. They're trying to spread their focus between all 3 lanes at this point. And we get the engage by Ornn. Nautilus tries to follow it up. He's using his ultimate for Peel on the Jax. Is it enough, though, or is Kai'Sa going to die? No, Kai'Sa gets the kill on the Jax, but Evelynn dies in return, so it's a 4v4 now. And Cho'Gath eats up the Rise. It's a 4v3. Can Kai'Sa do enough damage to turn this around, or is she going to end up not mattering? She's threatening them, but she's also playing just a little too risky, a little too far forward.
I'm going to have to say that the Cho'Gath right now, with his build, where he's at, it's 1,500 true damage. No, I am sorry, mistaken. That's about 500, 600 damage onto any champion there.
Yeah. It's, it just got too overwhelming for Miztosis' Egirls. We could talk about the late game positioning all we wanted to. We could talk about the late game macro decisions that they were making all we wanted to. But at the end of the day, they're dealing with a what, 14,000 gold deficit at that point. And even if you have superior positioning, even if you have superior decision making on your side, you still kind of lose to all of that damage. It was just very unfortunate.
I just feel that Miztosis' game 1 had the right idea. They had a good comp. They just couldn't execute it correctly. Game 2, they just completely lost in that pick and ban.
I'm just amazed at the team comp that Rejected by Amumu pulled out there. I didn't think that was going to work out that well, and they just pulled it off. Major kudos to them. And as we look at the damage graph here, we see just how effective the Ahri was in the end. For how confused I was about the pick, for how much I didn't know if it was going to work out, the Ahri ends up being the most damaging champion in the entire game. Not the Jax, not the carry Jax, the Ahri down in the 80 carry position. Just very well done play. Very, very well done play by Ahri. I can see why Ahri's part of the name.
I really do think that Miztosis needs to change up that jungler. And I don't mean the player, I mean his champion pool there. I feel like if they had something more early game related or something bruiser type or tank, it would give them a better front line and ability to get into those team fights.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, and you can see how much more the Rise needed to get online as well. The Rise was the 3rd most damaging champion for their team. The game didn't go long enough for him to get the items he needed to really, really help the team out damage-wise. And it's kind of a shame because when Rise pumps out damage, he's incredible. But he has to get to that point first. All right. Well, everybody, thank you for watching this matchup between Rejected by Amumu and Miztosis' Egirls. We're going to take an intermission, and then we're going to switch over to our another matchup tonight. So stay tuned for that.